Okay, so this is kind of an idea that popped up today. Talking to a friend who's undiagnosed, but damn it, I'd put $100 on her being very firmly high functioning autistic, very strongly, firmly high functioning autistic. And this is about theory of mind, and people talk about how people with Asperger's and with autism, they don't have a good theory of mind. And it's basically, in short, the ability to see something from someone else's point of view. There's a thing about, what's in the box. Okay, what would they say? It's in, what's in the box? Oh, it's you don't know. Okay, well, now it's a ball. Okay, what would they say when they come in? Well, they'd say it's a ball. Well, how do you know? Well, because it's a ball. Yes, but how would they know? Because it's a ball. Yes, but they don't know that's in the box that it's a ball, so it's how to think about something from someone else's point of view. Now, on the fly, I'm not that good at this. In fact, I'm rather crap at it. But back at home, when I'm not in the situation, I can kind of do it. And how I do it is, I don't think about what they think. I don't think about anything like that. What I do is, what would I do in that situation? I think about me. I think about how I perceive things. So, if I'm going to do a thing, I'm like, okay, how would you feel if you were, if you couldn't get your donuts? Well, I wouldn't feel that, that's me. But if I were to say, okay, I've had kind of a crap day, and say someone I know is reacting poorly, and I know that they haven't had anything to eat, and they've had kind of a crap day, and I can assign those situational modifiers to myself. How would I feel? How would I react? What would I do if X, Y, and Z were true about me? Now, it really helped for me thinking about this kind of things, because I started taking physics in college around the same time I got diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, and this allowed me to sort of use the whole frame of reference thing that they talk about in physics to deal with a theory of mind in psychology. I can't do a theory of mind. I'm very bad at it. But I can do frame of reference. I can say, this is true in this situation. If you've done physics, you know often enough that for you to determine the solution to the problem, you first have to figure out the frame of reference for the problem. This is how you end up with things like, well, you could be traveling at 50,000 miles an hour in deep space. As long as you're not accelerating, you don't feel that you are moving. You feel that everything else is moving. And how two astronauts in this situation could move towards each other, neither one accelerating nor decelerating, and both correctly believe that the other one is moving towards them, that they in fact aren't moving. The truth is, both astronauts are moving, but that's not how their frame of reference sees it. And frame of reference is very, very important in physics. So how does this come today? Well, I was talking about job fairs, and I forgot that this woman really sees things from her own perspective and her own experience and nothing else. And she has a very difficult time seeing things out of that experience, including dropping out experiences. I would say, imagine that you're a customer. It's a very good thing she's not in business. She's a civil engineer by training. I don't know what she's doing exactly. She has a very difficult time, and I was trying to explain to her something. I was having an issue with a particular job fair, but more importantly, I was talking about the advertisement issues of that job fair, and I could not get her to understand until I damn near had it spelled out what I was doing. When I was doing, I said, I really wish you'd deal with only the facts and evidence. I wish you'd only deal with the frame of reference at hand. But she couldn't. She couldn't get rid of her own perspective. She couldn't get rid of her own experience, her own way of thinking, her own way of doing things. And for her, if you say, this fish is good, she'll understand that you think that fish is good, but she may not understand why. And that's sure, she understands some things are subjective, but other things she believes absolutely true. I remember her trying to sing, and she wasn't doing it very well. And I said, well, put some emotion into it. Well, she doesn't really understand emotion intellectually. She can't step outside and go, okay, how would I sing if I were trying to be angry, if I were trying to be sad? She doesn't hear, like, I'm not that good with it, but if you were to say to me, hey, put some funk into that singing, I would understand what you mean. I've heard Parliament Funkadelic, I've heard James Brown, I know what it means to try to put some funk in it. She doesn't. She doesn't understand that because she doesn't understand what funk means. She doesn't understand emotion in song. She copies word for word, note for note, but there's no artistry to it. And that's a very big deal for her because she keeps failing and not understanding why. And she just doesn't have the capacity to understand why. She's very smart, I hate to say this, in her way, but she has no ability to do theory of mind. She has no ability. So, oh, fuck.